Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI has commanded you to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Shalom. It's your brother Halaki from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI with another video. And we're going to start here in Joel 3, 1 and 2. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of YAHAWASHI, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So this great war that's about to take place is because what is going to happen because of what the heathen nations have done unto the children of Israel, man, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations. You see? The Most High is about to gather all these nations for war, man. And that's why you see great tension happening in the Middle East and been happening in the Middle East, man. The Most High has been working on these nations to have more and more tension build up between them. You see? Because he's preparing them for that great war that's going to take place for what they've done unto the Israelites. So I have an article right here from RT News, and it reads, Iran firmly committed to developing missile capability, says defense minister, and amid hostility in the region. What is that? Tensions between the nations, man. And Iran say, hey, they're committed to fully developing their missiles, man. So let's read this article. That's your part, man. The Iranian defense minister has reaffirmed his country's commitment to strengthening its missile capabilities as Trump-era sanctions remain in place, as tensions with Israel and with the new U.S. administration worsen. You see that? Why is this happening? Because the Most High is preparing these nations for war. You see? It tells you that the Most High mustereth the host of the battle, man. It also tells you that what? The Most High, Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So it goes on to say, speaking on Thursday at a meeting with senior Iranian officials, Defense Minister Brigadier General Amir Hatami claimed that significant progress has been made in Iran's defense industry despite the presence of crippling sanctions. He noted that the nation's military had met its objectives for the year, which ends on March 20th on the Persian calendar. Look at that. On the Persian calendar. You hear that? Ezekiel 38. Repeating a remark popular among Iran's leadership, Hatami claimed that Tehran had beaten former U.S. President Donald Trump, who had enacted a maximum pressure campaign on the Iranian nation. In the end, it was Trump who was put aside from power, he claimed. In regional fields and the country's defense and missile power, we will continue moving towards great objectives with all our might. This is the spirit that the Most High is putting on these nations, man. To hell what America has to say. We gonna do our thing, man. Hatami stated, adding that he expected hostility against Iran to continue for the foreseeable future. You hear that? That's the Most High stirring the pot. You see, this is what we want to happen, man. This brings prophecy to pass. Look at all them damn missiles, man. Then they go, this is another article says what? Iran unveils missile city filled with ballistic and cruise missiles. And you know who's shaking right now? The state of Israel, man. You see? Bibi not a Jew, or Benjamin Netanyahu probably somewhere shitting on himself right now, man. You see? Which goes to show that you're not the chosen people, because if you were the Israelites, you wouldn't be living in fear right now of missiles, of Iran having missiles. So it goes on to say, Iran's relations with the U.S. have not improved despite Joe Biden's ascension to the presidency. Of course not. Why would you think any otherwise, man? These are devils, man. You see? It says what? With both sides calling on each other to make the first move towards better relations. Iran wants the U.S. to remove Trump-era sanctions, while the U.S. and its allies have called on Tehran to curtail its nuclear program. And this is what America does, man. They want you to hold up your end of the deal, but they never hold up their end of the deal, man. You see? That's the damn devil for you. Let's get that real quick. That's Psalms 55, no, 50 if I'm mistaken. Let's see. Psalms, is it 55? Let's try 55 first. Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You see? He wants you to get rid of your nuclear program in hopes of him removing the sanctions. Then you get rid of the nuclear program and the sanctions continue, man. You see? This is what these damn devils do. Because they have no intent of taking the sanctions off of Iran. It says what? His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Esau wants war. You see? Esau wants war. This is what he lives for, man. This is who he is. You see? That goes back to his blessing, man. Matter of fact, that goes back to what's said in Revelation chapter 6. It says what? And there went out another horse that was red, which is Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, which is Esau. You see that? And that's what they do all throughout there. They take peace from the earth, man. They take peace from the earth in the name of peace. And by peace he shall destroy many. You see that? As it tells you in Daniel. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, which goes back to Esau's blessing. You can go read that in Genesis 27. You see that? These devils want war, man. They don't want peace on earth. So it goes on to say, throughout the past year, Iran has been keen to display its growing defense capabilities. On Monday, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps revealed a new missile city at an undisclosed location. Videos showed an extensive arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, as well as electronic warfare equipment. You see that? And that's all prophecy, man. So not only is the Most High stirring up their attention, he's causing these nations to do what? To build up their arsenals, man. So if you already know, if they're building up cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, you already know they're somewhere in the cut building nuclear missiles, man. And this is going to put the state of Israel on edge for them to do something stupid, man. You see? You know what? It ain't stupid. To do something prophetic. You see? Because it needs to happen. So let's go back to the prophecy, man. Let's go back to Joel chapter 3. We're going to jump down to 9. Joel 3 and 9 says what? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And that's what we see happening over there in the Middle East, man. All these nations are being prepared for war. There's nothing but tension happening in the Middle East, man, as the Most High wants it. That fucking land has not been stable since we left out of that land in 70 AD. You see? Ever since then, it's been straight turmoil and war in that land, or in that area of the earth. Let's say that. Verse 10 says what? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what we see happening, man. Even though Iran's economy is in the fucking trash, they're using their resources to build up their arsenals, man, to build up their militaries. They could easily take this money that they're putting into that to the upgraded equipment that they're buying. They could easily take that and put it into agriculture, and provide for their citizens, man. But what do they go and do? They go and take that agriculture money and put it into their what? Into their military, man. Into their missiles. Into their electronic warfare equipment, man. That's prophecy coming to pass. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And Iran is not the only nation that's doing this. You see? All these different nations are taking money that they can be using to provide for their citizens, to be providing for their people. They're taking that money and investing it into their military, man. And why is that? Because the Most High is preparing war amongst these heathen nations, man. Why? For what they've done unto the Israelites, for what they have done unto the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and to the rest of the Israelites that are scattered abroad, man. You see? It says what? Let the weak say I am strong. And we're seeing that happen a whole lot more. These smaller countries are bucking up against America. They're building nuclear weapons. You see? That's the weak saying I'm strong. They're not taking no more shit, man. They're now, the Most High has the spirit upon these heathen nations, the smaller heathen nations, to stand up for themselves, man. You see that? The power, that power grip, that death hold that America, Babylon the Great had upon on the planet Earth at one point in time, the Most High is allowing that grip to slip, man. You don't have that same power that you once had. Why is that? Because the Most High is preparing the destruction of America. You see? Verse 11 says what? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. You see that? So the Most High is gathering all these heathen nations over there in the Middle East for this great World War III, man. And in the midst of that, YAHAWASHI is going to come down. That's what it means. It says what? Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Who is that talking about? That's talking about the angel, man. YAHAWASHI and the heavenly host is going to come down in the midst of World War III, man. In the midst of you heathen nations fighting against each other, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ is going to show up on the scene with the thousands of heaven, man, as it is written. Verse 12 says what? Let the heathen be wakened. And when you go into that word wakened, it goes into being roused up. And that's what we see. Iran said, we don't give a fuck, man. We going to build our missiles, man. Ain't nothing finna stop it. They say we're going to build it with all our might, man. That's the spirit of the Lord, you see? These heathen nations are being roused up to come up against one another. You see? And come up to the valley of YAHAWASHI over there in the Middle East, that desert of Saudi Arabia. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You hear that? So a great judgment is going to take place once YAHAWASHI shows up on the scene, man. He's going to eradicate the heathens' militaries, as it tells you in 2nd Esdras 13, man. You see? So let's get this real quick. Let's go to the Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras 15, we'll start at 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, the Ishmaelites, shall come out with many chariots, and with the multitude of them shall be carried away as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, which are the Iranians, the Persians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. You see that? That's what's about to happen, man. The Persians, as well as the Ishmaelites, or the so-called Arabs, are going to have a part to play in the destruction of America, man. And we all know why that's going to happen. Why is it going to happen? Are they just going to attack America on their own? No, man. An event is going to take place for and cause them to do this, man. Let's go back to the let's get not this one. Let's do it like this. Let's get it like this. This is Jeremiah 49, man. This is going to tell you about the situation that's going to play out. What's going to cause America to be destroyed, man. Let's start at we'll start at 17. And Jeremiah 49 and 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Because Edom is about to be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. Verse 18 says what? As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. You hear that? So this is what awaits the Edomites, man. A great destruction. You see? in the form of fire, man. It's coming upon this place. This is what the Most High is building up in the Middle East, man. That's what this war is going to result in. And why is that? Verse 20 tells you what? Therefore, hear the counsel of YAHAWASHI that he have taken against Edom, the so-called white race, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. You hear that? Who is the least of the flock? The state of Israel. They're going to draw America into this war because they're going to be on edge because of what? These missiles that Iran is building, and it's going to cause them to do something that's going to fucking cause a domino effect, man. And it's going to lead up to the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is the chief dwelling place of the Edomite race, man. America, you see, the least of the flock, the state of Israel is going to draw them into this third world war, and great destruction is going to take place here in the land of America and that land of Israel, man. So it says what? Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. You see that? So not only is that land of Israel going to be desolate, the land of America is going to be desolate as well, man, by way of thermonuclear fire. That's what everything is leading up to. That's what the Most High is building up in the Middle East, man. So let's get to Jeremiah 49 because it says the same thing, but now it's worded a different way. We're going to start at Jeremiah 49 and we're going to start at 41. Damn. We're going to start at 50. Jeremiah 50 and 40. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, how did Sodom and Gomorrah go out? By way of fire. By what? And why did it go out? For the wickedness, man. They was exalting themselves with great pride against the Heavenly Father in their wickedness, man. You know what was going on in Sodom, man. And the same thing is going on here in Babylon the Great, and it's shit, and in the land of Israel, man. Pink City. The biggest Mo parade the world has ever seen each and every year, man. You see? So that land of Israel is going to be destroyed by fire, and the land of America is going to be destroyed by fire to never be inhabited again, man. So Jeremiah 50 and 40 says what? As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, and Israel will be one of those neighbor cities, saith YAHAWASHI, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Talking about all the heathen nations coming up against America and the land of Israel, man. And they shall hold the bow, which is the missile silo, and the lance, which is the missile that rests in the missile silo. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea. And they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. When you go read Psalms 137, it tells you who the daughter of Babylon is, man. Esau, Edom. You see? Verse 43 says what? The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as a woman in travail. You see that? So whoever the king of Babylon is going to be, when this happens, man, they're going to be in great fear because there's great destruction that's going to be coming upon this land, man. Verse 45 says what? Therefore hear ye the counsel of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI that he have taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. You see that? It said the same thing about Edom, because that state of Israel, which are also Edomites, are going to draw their cousins, the American Edomites, into this great World War III, man. You see that? And Iran building up all these missiles could possibly lead to that, man. You see? Because we see every year when this nigga Netanyahu goes to the UN, what is he talking about? Iran getting a bomb. Iran building missiles. So you already know he's feeling some type of way about this information that's coming out. You already know he's somewhere behind the scenes right now plotting and scheming on how to overthrow the Iranians and building up these missiles, man. So that's probably going to cause them to do what? To have more assassinations, hit key figures in Iran. And that's going to build up more tension, man. And that shit is going to lead to war. You see? So that's what's about to happen, man. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Because that land of Israel is going to be destroyed by way of fire. And America is going to be destroyed by way of fire as well, to never be inhabited again, as it is written. This is the judgment that's coming upon you, Edomites, man. Verse 46 says what? At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. You hear that? By way of what? By way of that nuclear destruction that's going to rock the earth to and fro like a drunkard, man. You see? The earth shall reel to and fro from that great power that's going to be hitting the earth by way of those nuclear missiles. And the cry is heard, among the nations. You see that? So this is what's coming, and this is what the Most High is preparing, man. You see? This right here can really lead to something even bigger, man. And YAHAWASHI willing, it does. YAHAWASHI willing, Israel, goes in there and do what they do and cause more tension to come forth. And YAHAWASHI willing, World War III pops off this year, man. You see? YAHAWASHI willing. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI has commanded you to do. With that, I'm going to say shalom, wa, abab, abab.